Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to the videos of the paid request. This time from Marc. Thank you so much for that. And I apologize for the delays of videos. I'm trying to do the best that I can. But got a lot coming up for you guys, so just bear with me. And Marc, he actually sent another request for 2 more episodes of this, which I'll get to as soon as I can. I apologize. But this is episodes 1 and 2 of Dynasty, the New England Patriots show, which I believe is going to be about 10 parts, I think. But it's on Apple Plus TV. And Marc was nice enough to give me the hookup to let me be able to see these. Now, I didn't grow up with football like other people did. I didn't watch much of it when I was a kid. You would see highlights on TV, but I never really watched much of the full games because I didn't really watch a whole lot of sports. The few times would probably be basketball. I would say that's my favorite sport. But football, on the flip side, the how do I put it? The highlights were fun. They were exciting. Movies about football I do enjoy, whether it be Any Given Sunday, even Necessary Roughness with Scott Bakula I had fun with, and I like hearing about the history. I like hearing about the documentaries. I love hearing about that type of stuff because I'm such a noob when it comes to the sports regime. That hearing more about this, it's fascinating. It's I don't know, documentaries about sports. You get the hard hitting action, you get the highlights, but you realize there's a lot of drama to the point that I watched the first 2 episodes. It does sound like a movie. Like if you put this into the script of a movie, people would go it's cliche, or no way that would happen in real life, but it does. Like Any Given Sunday, you have the Dennis Quaid, who's the established football quarterback player, but then he gets injured, so you get this new guy to come up, Jamie Foxx. Kind of like here with Drew Bledsoe. He gets injured, and then this new guy, Tom Brady, and no one believes in him, and he's running like a giraffe, as they put it. An awkward giraffe is how they describe Tom Brady at first. And he's not doing well at first, but then he knocks out of the park for a lot of people, and it's become really one of the, if I understand, one of the best quarterbacks ever. I will say that this is a very well edited program. These two, I call them episodes, but it's a documentary showcasing the dynasty, the start of the, I believe, 6 championships that the Patriots would go on winning. And it's very well edited, a wealth of information. It's not just someone sitting there for 10 minutes and then you get a little bit of footage and then another person sitting there for 5 minutes. No, you do have people talk to the camera, a variety of people. Drew Bledsoe, Tom Brady, some of the other players, the coach, Belichick, the owner, Kraft, I believe his last name. Which make me think the cheese, but some of the fans. Bill Burr makes an appearance, but like once. I don't know if he'll be back in the other ones. Because I don't mind Bill Burr. But yeah, even the way episode 1 opens, where it's showing like all the highlights, and I like the quote, "We lived and won long enough to become the villain," which is true. That if you do so well, at times you'll be looked at as, "Oh my God, the Patriots again." Can it be someone else other than the Patriots? I do remember that talk being around quite a few times. But yeah, it starts at episode 1 about how this guy bought the Patriots. They show the press conference when that happens. And Kraft talks about why he bought it and what he wants to bring to the people in this area. They talked about how going into this, which is around 2001, actually September, was it 23rd of 2001? Like not that long after 9/11. And they wanted to bring some hope and some happiness to people out there. And then I think they were like 0-2, something like that. And Drew Bledsoe gets a hard hit. And it is a hard hit. and finding out that he went to the hospital when he got his lung like punctured. There was blood going, pints of blood going to the lung. I'm like, Jesus. So obviously he's out of it, and then they get Tom Brady, who I think was the 6th round pick, not the first or second or third, the 6th round pick, as in a little bit more. He would not have been picked at all for anybody. So you're like, Jesus. But again, this interesting story that I said would people will say it's unbelievable if it was in a movie, but it happened in real life. It goes to the fans and what they thought of the situation. But at the same time, with Drew Bledsoe and before that, the Patriots just lose and lose and lose some more, and they had not won a Super Bowl of any sort. And then they talked a bit about Tom Brady and his background and how even though he was awkward running like a giraffe, as they put it, even though he wasn't doing the best, people go, if people were to say that we knew from the get-go that he was going to be this big bad quarterback, they're lying, they're bullshitting. Some of the players say. But throughout this and episode 2, so I'm kind of melding the 2 episodes, you see that this guy wanted to get better. He's very, very competitive. I do like the story that him and this guy were roommates when he first got on the team, and they would play Tecmo Bowl for Nintendo. And so each time he thought he was going to lose, he would pound the floor and it would reset the Nintendo. And that there were dents in the wall from him throwing the controller. I thought that was a pretty funny story there. And like I said, it's very well edited. There's a lot of footage from the games, from the media at the time, the news programs at the time, showcasing what happened with Drew Bledsoe. I think they interviewed Drew Bledsoe himself and what he was feeling, what he was going through. Tom Brady's interviewed and about how nervous he was, but other teammates, they heard Tom Brady say, "I ain't giving this shit back," and they're like, "Oh, shut up, sit down. This isn't your team, it's his team. Trust me, Bledsoe. When he comes back, your ass is going back on the bench." Until ultimately, Bledsoe is cleared by medical, and the coach, Belichick, has an important decision, and he makes one that shocks everybody. He lets Tom Brady play still, and puts Bledsoe, who by this point had signed like $100 million 10-year contract, and they show footage of the media completely roasting him. The owner of the Patriots he wasn't gung-ho about the decision. Drew Bledsoe and his wife definitely were not gung-ho about the decision. And at first Tom Brady's not doing well, and that people just completely roasting the coach. What the hell is he doing? This is the worst coaching of the year. That's one thing I would like to have seen. The fans and the media that crapped on this idea to get on camera and eat crow and go, you know what, I was wrong. I did say that, this is what I was thinking at the time, but you know what, I'm glad they proved me wrong. Like some of the media that you see completely lambasting the choice. Like you see the footage of them completely crapping it, and then you see them on screen going, yep, I did say that. I was wrong. I was full of shit. But they don't do that, sadly. But that would have been nice to see. Oh, at the beginning, like when they showcased of episode 1, I love the version of Under Pressure by Queen. And they retool it a bit so it sounds even more epic. So I like that. I thought it was a nice touch. And pretty much people are not really gung-ho about this decision. And I like that each episode so far, it kind of ends on a cliffhanger to get you intrigued to see what's going to happen next. Which in this case is making that decision. And it's like, oh man, is this going to work out the best? Is this really going to be the best decision? If this doesn't pan out, this is going to be a catastrophe. Yep, you know what? I'm going to keep Tom Brady in. And that's where we get to episode 2 about the snow game where they're playing against, I want to say it was the Oakland Raiders, and it's snowing. They're not doing that well, but then there's this one drive they do, and the Patriots are able to get a touchdown, and they're still in on the game. And a lot of luck is involved too. Just this thing that I never knew was a rule, the tuck rule. So apparently, if you do this and you tap to tuck in, if they still hit you and the ball is let go, it's not a fumble. That's a incomplete pass. I had to look this up, and apparently that's not a rule anymore. Years and years ago, they got rid of it because of stuff like this. But I mean, even Tom Brady goes, I didn't write the fucking rule. It's there. Which, I mean, it makes me wonder how that rule came about in the first place. They might have tried to explain it, but it would have been nice to hear a little bit more of the history of that. So again, I guess if you did this, but you kept it and you did hit, now apparently it is ruled a fumble no matter what. But it followed the rule, and then it helped save their ass. As well as the kicker getting the field goal to keep them in the game and have a tie. Then they went overtime. Then they're able to win the game. I like when the teammates goes, they should take that man's foot and bronze it. But not only does it go into that game, it was like seeing all the footage. It is very well edited, kept at a good pace. These only like 40-some minutes long a piece. Never boring. But also about how, they're still unsure about Tom Brady, and you get to hear a bit more about Tom Brady's background. We see the draft where he was picked, the 6th round. And it's like, well, you know what? We don't really need a quarterback, but that guy's just by himself over there, so sure, I guess we'll pick him. Probably Tom Brady had told the owner, this is the best decision you ever made. And the owner's like, sure, okay, kid. Because they had signed that they had this $100 million with Drew Bledsoe. They didn't think they would need another quarterback. But they also mentioned about how Bledsoe had been hit a lot throughout these games, throughout those years, and a lot. And how at times he just, as they put it, he would act scared. He would act scared and like a gazelle ready to be attacked by a wildebeest or something of that nature. And he just wasn't moving quite like he was supposed to. And again, also, previously, he just had a puncture in his lungs, and he hadn't played for a couple weeks, so going to go with this Tom Brady guy. He's younger, and they see that this guy's improving. They also tell the story about the Belichick coach and how he made a decision like this in the past with the Cleveland Browns. I like, seeing that old footage from back in the day, and how there's another player, I want to say it was Bernie Kosar. And I think with him, he was hit and had some injuries, so he wasn't moving as well as he could, and they had to replace him. But even then, the Cleveland Browns still didn't do well. And the fans completely roasted them, including fans wanting to kill the guy. And there's old footage of the fans took dummies, and they put the faces of the coach and I think the owner, and they hung the dummies. Like, hang them. I'm sitting there going, damn. Some football fans are crazy. Not all, of course, but some are fucking crazy. But that's every group. Some horror fans are crazy. So, goddamn. But they had the footage there, so shit was being filmed. I'm like, damn. Some of you motherfuckers are crazy. And how there were even people thinking that the Raiders were going to beat the Patriots. And then lo and behold, because of a bit of luck, bit of fate, bit of destiny, however you want to put it, they're able to win And before that, with Tom Brady, when he got, people were doubting him. As they put it, they didn't lose another game of that season. It would have been nice to see interview of fans who were there at the time, how their appreciation of Tom Brady maybe grew in that period. I doubted him, and then like they saw this kind of rise in appreciation and respect, or however you want to put it, for this guy. Maybe it'd be nice to hear from their point of view during that important time period. And like I said, it's just very well edited. A lot of interesting stuff. Even some of the pranks, like they weren't respecting Tom Brady. This is before he became quarterback. This is when he was the backup, so they would like dye his socks and pull these pranks. And they also mentioned when Tom Brady became quarterback, how he would hang out with the guys and go out drinking with them. And one of them is like, shit, this guy's drinking me under the table. That's cool. That's one of the players, I forget his name, he says that. That's what I mean, like, you listen to this stuff and you're sitting there going, it's like a movie. It is like a movie. And at this point, they're the underdogs. And like I said, even episode 2, it ends on a cliffhanger. Things are going well, they won this game, they're the AFC champion, now they're going to, on their way to the Super Bowl. Boom, Tom Brady gets hurt. Looks like his ankle gets screwed up. Stay tuned next time. Which I haven't seen those episodes yet, but man, it's crazy, some of the stuff. But it drew me in. It was intriguing, even if you're not into football. Just the story that's told, the underdog story. Like I said, it's like a movie. I think the interviews were very quick. It definitely, with all, did it just a well-paced bit of business. It's not overlong. It wasn't so all over the place that it was confusing. Don't really have much bad to say about it, so there you go. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care. I'm definitely curious what is going to come with these episodes, and we'll see you next time. Later.